Many Ugandans do not know their constitutional rights or obligations. That is why they end up breaking the law or being exploited in their daily lives. The opposition in parliament is brainstorming on how to preach the constitution to all Ugandans through tabling amendments on the floor of parliament in the next session. The opposition leader in parliament stated during his opening remarks that many Ugandans are unaware of their constitutional rights, which is why their natural resources are taken from them, their land is seized, and they have nowhere to turn for assistance.
Land belongs to the people and not to the government, and as such, government cannot deprive people of their land without their consent. 8. Natural resources are held by government in trust for the people and do not belong to the government. 9. The duty of every citizen to defend the Constitution from being suspended, overthrown, abrogated, or amended contrary to its provisions. And 10. Parliament cannot make a law legalizing a one-party state or reversing a decision of a court of law as to deprive a party.
The National Unity Platform President Robert Kyagulanyi has cautioned his members to rise above the differences they have as the opposition and legislate on transforming the people who voted them into power.
I know that even in this room, ladies and gentlemen, this room where we are, I know that we have varying levels of trust amongst us. But I must say this to you today, that we are not here just to pass time or to pretend to be politically mature. We are here because Uganda needs us. We are here because our country is at crossroads. We have a duty, ladies and gentlemen, to collectively give direction because all of us have an equal stake in this, our country. Our country needs us at this defining time, and each of us must honorably and decently play their role.
Members of Parliament, on the other hand, have committed to take this message out to the last Ugandan. According to legislators, they believe constitutional and electoral reforms which they are yet to table in Parliament will enable the business sector blossom through their fair taxation policies compared to what is happening now, where the poor are heavily taxed on the expense of the rich.
Everyone who is in a business, don't say that we are just wasting time. Leaders are they are the influencers of businesses. The one in the markets, the one in SSF, the one in any company. The influencers, the leaders. So if we set the environment, the mutual ground for political environment, business, churches, education, everything, any sector, it will be okay and it will be running smoothly. Political leaders are the one imposing high taxes. They are the one influencing business. They are influencing everything.
When you see the representation of Ugandans, almost every category of person is going to have an appointee. When you look at the special interest groups, we have the MOP representative for youth, women, MOP representative for youth, boys. We have representatives for people with disabilities. We have even beyond the special interest groups, but you find even the UPDF is being categorized as if it is a special interest group. And the accounts to justify the speciality of UPDF as a special interest group is not anywhere in the Constitution, neither in any guidelines.
The legislators have also promised that if the amendments are passed, there will be equitable distribution of resources in the country vis-à-vis the current situation, where resources are not equitably placed. The MPs have also tasked their colleagues to keep away from situations where they will be bribed to sell their own people.
We need to be honest. As we look at the Constitution, there is selfishness on the side of leaders. You know, they have told you that, that patronage in Parliament, but patronage is accompanied with money. People are bribed. How do you make a decision that affects the general public because you've been given money? So for me, I think we must ensure that we develop public trust. People will, the moment they trust us, this means they will be able to also understand what we give them. So for me, honesty, when it comes to the side of leaders, is very wanting, and it's something we should pick up. Otherwise, leadership is losing meaning.
Reforms, the key thing here is an equitable distribution of resources, because like when we talk of devolution, if it is well put, some people call it federal, but devolution of powers. That means every area they manage their issues. This unemployment will reduce because each area will employ their own people. And at the end of the day, they will be making money. Even the corruption will reduce because many people, I know you cannot steal from your own area.
As the NRM is having a retreat to focus on increasing household income of all Ugandans, especially the 39% which is still in poverty, the opposition is deliberating on how to table constitutional and electoral reforms which they say will transform this country out of poverty. Samlanifa, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.